welcome again to the Tuesday night team Zoom. And we've been doing these Zooms and calls every Tuesday and Thursday night for going on 20 years. And before we knew what Zoom was, we were doing calls and conference calls and those type of things. And social media came in. But I was privileged to be with this young lady and her husband over in the islands at the Winter Circle. And Rob and I had a chance to sit at their table for breakfast and then do the first part of the training. And I was just blown away by the knowledge that this young lady has and what she's done to go out and take it from where she started to where she's going. And I see Black Diamond happening really quick with this young lady. And she just blew my mind after all these years in the business. It's kind of like you've seen it all, you heard it all, and then all of a sudden you meet a girl like Samantha and she warps your mind one more time. So you never get too old to learn. So Samantha, come on and share your heart with this team here. This is one of the longest running teams in the entire industry. And I'm very honored that you would come on for this team here and share your story, your passion, your tips, and just take it away.
All right, so I'm just going to start out the way that we start every Zoom. I'll tell you guys my quick little story, and then I'm just going to get into some of the stuff that's really been working for myself and working for my team pretty much over the last 6 months, I would say. But I've been in for 6.5 years now, and I'm from Pennsylvania. I'm from a small town called Lancaster, right outside of Philly. I have 4 babies, and I've been married for a little over 10 years, and I'm a presidential diamond. And you guys, I've had the slowest start in this business, but I am proof that if you decide that you're going to go places, it doesn't matter how long it takes, you're going to get there. And even with all of the pivots and the changes and, all of the things that have gone on in my business, I just decided to put my head down and get to work every single time. So a little bit of my backstory. I'm a former restaurant manager. So I used to work for Outback Steakhouse, and I worked about 70 hours a week, and my husband and I would pass each other at the door. So he would get home from work and I would leave, and we were just drowning in debt. We were both young parents. He had our oldest son when he was 20. We had our son together when we were 22 and 25. And it was just this fast cycle of snowballing debt. And we knew that we wanted to get out of it, but we just didn't know how we were going to make that happen. So when It Works came around for me in 2015, I started out as a customer, and I was using Confianza and wraps because I had 2 babies. Wraps were amazing. It was the only product I knew they had. Slowly, she talked me into using Confianza, which for me, being an anxiety-ridden person, it was a life changer. And it's something that I actually still take to this day. But I just didn't want anything to do with the business aspect of it. I am really, really shy and introverted, but I'm also very red. So it's those 2 things that go together that you're like, how is that even possible? But I'm very reserved with people that I don't know. But as soon as I kind of break out of my shell, then it's easy for me to get comfortable and really open up, which is kind of why I do the things that I do now. And I actually really enjoy it. But I joined the business after a year of being asked. So I had girls in my inbox constantly. You guys drop me a 1 if you had somebody in your inbox more than once ask you over and over again to join the business. And every time you're like, nope, I'm good. Every excuse in the world. And late one night, I finally was like, all right, I'm going to go. And I think that I told her yes, just to get her out of my inbox. I almost wanted to fail just to be like, here, you got me. I gave in and now I'm done. Like, leave me alone. But my kit arrived in the mail, and that was back when we got the kit, and now we're starting to get the kit again, which I love. But it was back when we got that box, and there was just something about that box arriving in the mail and opening it up that gave me this sense of, wow, I maybe actually can make something out of this. So first customers were my mom and my aunt, and I pretty much told them that they had to sign up, and I got my product credit from that. But I just was slow and steady. I did the things, I did my steps to success, but I didn't go above and beyond because I didn't really know what that meant. My enroller was not very hands-on. She actually quit at Diamond. So I didn't have someone saying, hey, this is what to do next. This is where to go with this. This is how to do a party. This is how to do all the things. I didn't have that. So I am very much YouTube trained. So I went on YouTube and I watched all of the leaders that you guys watched. Jade Hooper, the Duns, all of these people. I would watch all of their videos, Jocelyn Yates, and I would soak up every single thing that they would possibly say. And I had all of the notifications on. So every time that they put a new video up, I was watching it. And if they put a new tip saying this was working, I went and I did that. And if it wasn't working for me, I would change it around to make it what I wanted it to be. But I always was growing my mind in this business and using any tool that I could. So I went Ruby in 3 months, I went Emerald in 5, and I sat at Emerald for 2 years, you guys, until I went Diamond and Double. Okay. So I was 2 years in, I went Diamond in February and I went Double in March. That was after the only conference that we ever had on pay-per-view in the time that I've been in anyway. So I sat in my my now triple going Prez's basement, and we were like, you know what, we're going to promote again. It's time. We both had the fire. We're both young moms. We knew that we wanted this, and we went for it. And that was right when Host to Post came out, like back in 2017, when it was like a brand new, fresh thing. And we dove in and we did it, and we Host to Posted our way all the way to Diamond and Double on Facebook. And then I sat at Double for another year and a half. We got pregnant with our 4th baby in June. And that's when we found out. And then I had promoted to triple in August. And then 6 months after I promoted to triple, I went presidential, which was 1 month after I had her. So I went from that really slow and steady kind of turtle movement to finally deciding that, you know, I was all in. I was going to do whatever it took, and I was going to get to where I'm going. So ever since I've gone triple, I've sat in the top 150, and I've done the things. I've gone to all 3 winner's circles. I've been up on the couch. I've earned the cruises. I've earned Margaritaville. I've done all the things because I'm super red and I'm super competitive. So if you put something in front of me, like kind of dangling the carrot and say, hey, this is what you can get if you do the things, then I'm going to do them. And I'm really intuitive to listening to people around me, just like you, Rusty, when I was telling you my story. I sit and I listen and I soak it all in like a sponge. And if someone says that this is working, I'm going to try it. And if I don't like the way that it's working necessarily, then I'm going to tweak it and make it work for me. So that is my story. I'm now sitting at Prez. My husband just came home from work full time in June, and we have 4 babies. We just bought our dream home in November, and we're just riding it because you know what? It's been a life changer for us. And now I'm at the point where I want it to be a life changer for every single person that comes across my path. So that is my story.
Wow. Amazing. So to give us a day in a life of a mom of 4, a full-time family. I've been in the full-time family for 20 years now, so I understand how you feel. And we started off a little different. There was no social media. There was a telephone and phone numbers and phone books, and you call people and you network that particularly. But give us a day in a life of and by the way, she only lives about a mile from my wife's kin people. We've established that while we're in
Yeah.
so we have family in her backyard. So a day in a life of Samantha, with being a mom of 4. How do you juggle all that? That's a lot of kids, and then you got your husband, so you have basically 5 children. That's what my wife told me. She had 3 kids.
Yep.
And so how do you juggle all that and to make it happen at this level?
So first of all, you need to throw out any idea that every day is going to be the same, because it is not. So you cannot wake up whatever time you tell yourself you're going to wake up and expect this day to go the same way that yesterday went. There are so many unknowns and so many uncontrollable factors, whether it's your husband, your kids, the weather, your dogs, your neighbor, your sister, all of these things that can come into play and change that. But what you can control are the things that you tell yourself that you are going to get done in that day. And just do not expect that it's going to happen in any particular order. And that's just the way that I've learned to just kind of roll with it. And the funny thing is, for me, my oldest is 16 years old. He's learning to drive. And then we have a 2-year-old who is being potty trained. So we are doing all of the things. And then we have an 8-year-old and a 10-year-old in between. All of my kids are in sports and dance. And I mean all of them. Even the 2-year-old is in dance. And my husband coaches full time. He coaches 2 out of my son's 3 seasons. So it's busy. Like, that to me is just chaos in my head. Can you guys imagine when he worked full time on top of that? It was nuts. So the option, it wasn't even an option to bring him home. It was when it was going to happen, because I knew that it needed to happen. But for me, I am beyond organized when it comes to this business. And I actually brought my stuff upstairs because I wanted to show y'all. I love lists and I love writing things down, and I love being pen and paper. And I know that there are leaders who are like, oh no, iPad all the way, the iPencil, the whatever. Like, that's not me. I like to be able to have things physically written down in front of me. I'm really big about task lists. So if you have one that works for you, by all means, please stick with it. But honestly, I use the KPI because I love it. The key performance indicator. It's an Amber Parker thing. She has it that you can print out on her page, but I really like it because in doing it, it hits all of the key things that I feel you should be getting done throughout the day. And my goal, even at presidential, is to get it done and then teach duplication and have my team doing it as well. And I break my day down in ways that I can kind of group the tasks of the KPI together. So I'm not sitting there going, oh, I'm going to do this one, and then in an hour, I'm going to do this one. I try and kind of figure out as many things as I can do in little groups. So that way I'm getting a big lump done and then I can move on to the next thing. So clipboard is like key essential for the busy mom. This way you can take it with you. If you're in your living room and your kid starts getting loud and you want to go escape to the bedroom, to be able to pick up the clipboard and pick up your planner and go is amazing. And I do it all the time. But on the very top, I have my KPI. So that's this here. And basically what it is, you guys, is messaging, sharing your face in your stories, how many customers you should talk to in a day, how many potential distributors. It's just that kind of stuff is on your list there. But I really like to be able to check it off. So that's like my number one thing that I stick with. And the best part about that being busy is you're able to look at it at the end of the day and be like, okay, you know, I got 6 of the 10 tasks done. I've got a little bit of time. The kids are in bed. My husband's not ready for bed yet. I can get a couple more things done. Bang it out. Like you're able to look and say, this is what I haven't done yet. Also, my biggest tip with that is get the things that you like the least out of the way first. Because if you put those things off until the very end of the day, you're not going to do them because you're going to keep telling yourself, I don't want to do that. I don't want to do that. I do not love interaction. It's like my Achilles heel. I love having conversations with people and I love being in Messenger, but I don't love the process of liking and commenting on Facebook and Instagram because I just don't like to scroll them. It's not my thing. But I get those done first thing in the day. So that way, just get it out of the way and it's over with. So that's my big thing. If you've ever read the book called Win the Day, there's a term in there called eating the frog. And what eating the frog means is get that thing you don't want to do out of the way first. So that was that big tip on there. And then also, like I said, I'm huge into host to post. So for me, host to post is the main thing that I'm doing during the day because I know that a lot of things come from it. You're getting your business out there because it's essentially free marketing. Yes, you're having people post for you and you're entering them in your giveaway, but you're able to get as many people as you possibly can to share posts for you on any given day. So look at that as you're marketing your business through all of these people. So if you only get one thing done that day and host to post is it, that's where I would go with it. And in host to post, it's great because you can get product posts up so you can advertise the product. You can get opportunity posts up. You can get giveaway posts up. So you're growing your network via giveaways. And then you can also offer all of those things to the people that are posting for you. So let's say, Carissa, you posted a gummy post for me and I'm going to thank you and say, hey, thanks so much for posting. By the way, I would love to send you some information about the gummies or maybe a work from home position that I have open. So I'm offering you the product and the business and you're posting for me. And if you say no, then I'm going to say, awesome, no thank, or awesome, thank you anyway. The giveaway is on this day and we're just going to carry on. Like there's no harm in asking somebody. And typically the worst thing that they're ever going to say is no, thank you. I've signed distributors that way because oftentimes they're like, oh, you know, I'm actually doing what you're doing by posting about the gummies. Maybe I actually can run the business. So there's always little ways that you can continue on that conversation. But host to post is my main bread and butter. And I make a goal of getting so many up a day, but I keep a tracker and I can send you this too if you want. But this is a tracker for my host to post. And what I do in here is, let me see if I have a blank one because this one's very full. Each little section here, this is 10 posts. So each one is 10 posts and there's 7 of them. So that way it's each day. So my goal each day is to get 10 up a day and I'll write the date and I'll get 10 up. And then when you see that I have them highlighted here, I only ever write people down once they actually post for me. So I don't write them down when they say they're going to post. Once the post is actually up on their page, that's when I'll write it down. And the highlighted part is when I go back to check on the post the next day or 2 days later. So say Carissa posted, I go back, I check her post, I go and I reply to all the comments, then I'll highlight it off. And that's when I'm also putting her screenshot or however you guys enter them into your team drawing. That's when I do those processes. So I love to use a tracker because for me, it keeps me super organized. I do have it saved in my phone, so I can send that over for you guys that you can use it. So that's kind of like my main things for the day. My other tip for y'all to stay organized and to stay on top of things is to get yourself a planner with enough room to write everything down. I used to do the notebook for the hundreds list and have all these separate pieces of paper, but this one's called the Day Designer, and you can get it on Amazon. And I like it because this is one day. So this right here is just Tuesday. And on it, I'm able to write the people that say, okay, I'm going to order today, or I'm going to sign up today in one column, highlight them off after they do. In the middle, I have my potential customers that I talk to that day. Every time I talk to somebody new, I write them down in the middle. And then on this side, I have my potential distributors. So I'm able to keep a running list and write down names as I go. And then tomorrow, I can go back to today and check in with those people. So I can go back through and make sure that I check in with those potentials. I used to just make sure that I went back through my messenger the next day, but I feel like somehow people are still slipping through the cracks. So I like to have them actually written down, and then I can kind of go through and check off next to them. So organization as a busy mama, pick a task list. It doesn't matter what it is. If you like to do a 6 list, if you like to do a team task list, whatever it is, but make sure that you stick with that. It's called the Day Designer is the planner that I like to use. And they're like $30 on Amazon. And they're like really, really big. And they even have notes sections in there too. So if you need to write extra spots for notes, that one's perfect. So that's my little tips for busy mama stuff.
Wow. So, some people think that they have to spend 6 or 7 hours or 3 hours at a time. So how do you told us how you break, but what kind of spurts? Is it 10 minutes here, whatever, through the entire course of a day? Because you sound like you start early, you finish late, but you're always engaged in what you're doing to make this happen.
So a big goal for me is to divide my time up between my business and then my self-development, and also my developing my team, which I know that Cammie's been talking about that 1/3, 1/3, 1/3 lately. And I honestly try and do that because I feel like building your own business is just as, if not less important than teaching your team to do it. Because you want to get to a point where your team is then doing duplication and producing the same results that you are. So my goal is to be able to show them exactly what I'm doing so they continue it on. So for me, I like to try and get the KPI done, the key performance done, or your task list as early in the day as I can. That way you're able to have almost your undivided attention for your team or for having new conversations. So for me, kind of how my day looks is first thing in the morning is when I am following up with messages that may have come through over the night. I'm doing happy birthdays and I'm sending out my follow-ups from the Connect app. So like those are the 3 things that I just get done and get them out of the way first thing. Then I'm doing a couple of tasks on my KPI. After that, I try and check in with my new distributors and a couple of my VIPs. So I'll check in with like the heads of my legs or my doubles or my triples, just to make sure that they know that I'm there if they need me for the day. But then I put my phone away, you guys, because I have a toddler at home and I have a husband. So I'm not trying to work my business 8 hours a day. If I wanted to work 8 hours a day, I would still be working in a restaurant because I made decent money. I am at the point now where I wanted to work 4 to 5 hours a day. But I want to be able to fit my business into those 4 to 5 hours. So when that day is over, I can confidently say, I got my work done for the day and now I can go live life. I want to go to my kids' practices and not be on my phone checking in with potentials, not be on my phone sending out host to post messages. I want to be able to sit there and I want to be able to pay attention to them, because the whole point of me being home full time is to be present in those moments. So I like to get as much done in kind of like usually an hour and then I'm done. Nap time is big for me. Thankfully, my almost 3-year-old still naps, so I get a good solid 2 hours. But you best believe in those 2 hours, I am working. I'm not going to Target. I'm not going on a Starbucks run. I am working because that's the time that I have that I can actually sit there and do it. And those are the ones that I feel like I can have the longer conversations. So if I have a potential distributor that I want to check in with, or if I have a customer who's really on the fence, I'm able to dedicate my time then, because it's undivided. I don't have a toddler screaming at me or any of that stuff. So 1 hour in the morning, 2 hours at nap time, and an hour at night, maybe a little bit more depending on what we've got going on. But if there's a Zoom that night, then I dedicate time to that. If I don't have a Zoom, then I'm making sure that I'm checking in with my team again. And I love to do something called book ending my day. So I'm sending out messages for host to post. I'm sending out product model messages. I am following up with people, but I'm shooting out things that I can wake up the next day and have an inbox full. So if you're sending out messages asking people to host a post, or if you're sending out follow-ups for people that you sent product info to, that way, when you go to bed, you can wake up the next morning and be like, hey, I'm going to wake up to a couple new messages. Now, granted, you guys, sometimes you're going to wake up and there aren't going to be any. I've had that day where I'm like, I sent out 100 messages last night and I've woken up to 2. What is going on? But then you're going to have another day where you do it and you're going to wake up and there's going to be 20. So just focus on that task of actually getting it done. And eventually you're going to get yourself into that cycle where every day you're going to get a decent amount coming in. So 1 hour, 2 hours, and then 1 hour.
So what you're telling me, you have a priority plan of action. It must get done by the end of the day.
Yep. If I go to bed, things have to be done. And if they're not done, I don't go to bed.
Ah. So that's what it takes. It sounds like a great manager for the restaurant that they lost you. So, that's what it takes, managerial skills and a priority plan of action in order to go to the next level, to live the life that Sam is living with her 4 children and her husband. So what that sounds like to me, nobody else on the Zoom has an excuse. If she can do it, and she's made it a priority. So to me, it's how well you lead is how well you succeed, or how big you succeed. I'm going to ask you another question, switching gears here for a second. What do you think about the new 4-in-1 system?
I really like it. I think that it is going to create, and has already, so much momentum and just excitement. One of my biggest victories, I guess, or wins with this is I've had 3 or 4 distributors who had joined me over the last year that I thought were hopeless, not going to take off, not going to do anything, come back, relaunch, sign customers, and get excited over this again, because they're seeing how simple this is. And a lot of it is me creating that excitement for them and just showing them that not only am I doing it, I'm teaching them how to do it too. And a big thing for us is we started doing something called messenger parties over the last, I want to say 4 months ago. And basically what a messenger party is, raise your hand or drop me a 2 if you're around in the days of launch parties on Facebook. So we did Facebook groups and Facebook events, and we did launch parties. They were awesome and they brought people in, but then after a while it fizzled out because it just wasn't a thing anymore. And every MLM in this entire industry was then doing them, all of them. So it was kind of like people saw that they got invited to a group page and they're like, nope, out, done. So we wanted to figure out a way to do this where people wanted to be a part of it. So what we ended up doing, I'm actually really proud of this, is getting people into groups in Facebook Messenger, because you're able to have a group chat with a decent amount of people. And we started doing this with doing like a video chat in Messenger. And we learned quickly that that wasn't the way that it was going to work. And we were just able to kind of work through this and figure out that if we ran Messenger parties the same way that we used to run parties on Facebook, we would get so much further. So all it is having your new distributor or your party host, either one, message people and ask them if they're interested, setting up the date. And once people say, yes, I'm in. So Amanda, you're the next name. Say Amanda's a new distributor and I'm launching her. I'm giving her the task of making her chicken soup list. So 30 people that would bring her chicken soup. And I'm having her send the message saying, hey, I just started this business. I'm really excited. I am doing a launch on Facebook, and just basically just explaining what it is in a short little paragraph, asking them if they were interested. Once they say yes, then we get them all in a messenger and we just go about the party. We share a couple products, before and afters, product info, like the pricing. We talk about the pick 2, pick 3. We talk about how to be a loyal customer. And at the very end, we talk about the opportunity real quick, which is me sending like a 2-minute YouTube video about my story, wrap it up. And that's it. I can share the whole script. I have it saved in my word board and you guys can gladly use it. But it's essentially just launching a distributor in Messenger. And guess what the best part about it is? They're getting their 4 and they're getting their 1, because they're talking to potential customers and they're talking to potential distributors right in Messenger. So I'm excited about it for that reason. And I think that it's a God thing that we came out with messenger parties right before that came out, because I was like, oh my gosh, this is it, like 2 and it's right there. So yes, I am very excited. I have not completed my cycle yet because I've been very, very focused on teaching my team to do it, but I know that I will. It's probably going to happen right before the month is over, but that's okay.
Yeah. Well, Chris, you have any questions?
Oh, okay. So I got a lot from everything you said. I'm pretty much real close to that same type of structure. I guess it's just, I would say, going on the structure part that you were talking about, time management, it's just giving people a little bit more further, I don't want to say understanding, more so of getting into it. Because a lot of people, say that they don't have the time. They just can't find enough time in the day. And, it took a lot to get structured, which helps out with making my day a lot better because by all means, that structure helped me be able to be calm and in my own zone and relax while the whole house is quiet right now at 9 o'clock at night. So what would you say as, I guess, baby steps into getting people into that management, that structure stage? Some people may still be working.
Mhm.
So of course, we all started that way first before the business. What would be tips you give on, I guess, inching their way into it coming from a working standpoint?
So for me, I think something that was really important that I had to realize in this was making it a priority by the way that I felt about it and the way that I spoke to myself about it. So the biggest switch that I had to make was in my mind and the way that I said, I can't do this because, so I can't message because, I can't work my business because, and changing it to I can do it because, I can message because I want to grow my business. I can build my business because I want to grow my income. So that needs to be the first thing that you do, is changing the way that you talk about it and the way that you think about it. And the only person that is able to do that is you, nobody else. Second, when I started, if you guys heard that in the very beginning, I worked 70 hours a week from 2 p.m. until close, which was midnight, 1 a.m. often. And then I had another 40-minute drive home. So I had to find pockets in that work schedule or that work day where I was able to do certain things. Now, granted, I was not the best employee in doing this because I should have been focusing on work, but I was focusing on something that I knew was going to become something bigger. So I would sneak in the bathroom and I would send out 3 messages real quick. I would sneak in the back office and I would follow up with a potential customer. But the way that I was able to do this was I knew if I was picking up that phone, exactly what I was going to do before I even picked it up. So anytime that you have this in your hand, I want you to know exactly what you are going to be doing before you even unlock it. Okay. So if you are sitting down first thing in the morning and you're making your coffee, pick it up and make that video of you making that coffee. After you do that, tell yourself, okay, I made the coffee. Now I'm going to post my story. After I post my story, I'm going to message 10 potentials. After I message 10 potentials, I'm going to do happy birthdays. Do you see how every single time I knew exactly what I was going to do next before I even was able to move on to that task? So I don't give myself the opportunity to scroll. I don't give myself the opportunity to go on Amazon and see what deal I can find of the day. I don't go check my emails because I don't need to do that right now. I have the intention of this is exactly what I'm going to do next. And that can be any time of the day. If you are working full time and you get a half-hour lunch break, I want you to know before you go on that lunch break exactly what you're going to be doing. If you get in your car before it's time for you to drive home, I want you to go and I want you to send out 10 messages asking people to host a post before you put your keys in the ignition. Have that mindset of this is exactly what I'm going to do before I do this. Okay. So that's like, those are the two main things. The third thing, can't even count today, is get a hair tie or a rubber band and put it on your phone. Okay. So put it in the middle of your phone. I wish I had one that wasn't in my hair, but if you put it in your phone, in order for you to actually open your phone and start doing anything, you have to remove that hair tie. Okay. So you can't just sit there and start scrolling because it's in your way. So you know that if you're going to take that hair tie or that rubber band off, it's because you are going to do something that is actually productive. So putting that on your phone because you have no other reason to be on there. I don't scroll Facebook anymore. I don't like to scroll Facebook. It's not fun. But I know that if I'm picking up my phone, it's with the intention of doing whatever it is. And if you need to have a handwritten list or you need to have whatever it is to keep yourself on track, then do that. But know exactly what you're doing before you even get started.
Man, that was awesome. And now the best part about that is Is whoever is everyone, yeah, exactly, discipline. Is having that discipline to actually do what she just said. That's going to be the biggest part, because if you really want this and you really made a decision to get your Form 1 this month, you're going to find that hair bow. This hair bow is right here in my hair right now. You'll find that hair bow to be able to put it on there and do that. Now, another thing I want to do is dive into the I can't even remember all the host wordings. Host post on steroids or a giveaway plus, ways of
Oh, my
building it.
Instagram stuff.
Yeah. Just like a little splash in there, because we are slash aren't TikTokers, but I am a big Instagrammer slash Facebook person. And I know you said something you've done in the past, or do something in reference to being able to reach all networks at one time.
Yes.
Can you
So
go
let
to
me
that part?
see. Absolutely. So
Y'all,
I was,
get ready to listen.
let me see if I can do this. Okay. So when TikTok first started to become a big thing, especially with our business, was the last time that we were all together in conference in Florida. And I remember standing on stage, this was during Top 150, and Jocelyn Yates was sitting on the floor behind me, her lovely pregnant self, saying that she just had a TikTok blow up over like 1 million views. And I was like, what? And I was just listening to what she was saying. And she was talking about doing an opportunity video on TikTok. And the first thing that I did was tell myself, I'm never going to be able to do what she is doing. Do you see how I right away was like, nope, can't, not going to do it? I put those thoughts on myself. So it took me a good 6 months to get over myself and actually dive in, because I kept saying I wasn't going to do it. I was no Jackie Deering. I was no Jocelyn. Like, I wasn't going to do it. It wasn't my thing, but I kept watching them anyway. So I downloaded TikTok and I just kept watching their videos, watching what they were doing, just paying attention on the sidelines, because that's just who I am. But when we moved into our house in November, I ended up getting back fully on the app in January and just started slowly posting videos. And everyone on TikTok will tell you, find something that you really enjoy and post that. It doesn't have to be about the business, doesn't have to be about the products. Find something that you enjoy doing. Me being a mom of 4 and a family of 6, I really like to make meals in the crock pot because it's really easy. So I figured out if I post me making meals in the crock pot on TikTok, I was going to get views and people were going to come follow me. So here's a crazy little statistic for you guys. 3 hours ago, I posted a video on TikTok of me putting chicken and barbecue sauce in a crock pot. It is already at 62,000 views. I put chicken in a crock pot. Okay. That is growing my followers just from that. And in doing that, people are coming to my page and they're seeing my other stuff. So I have It Works on there as commercials. So every few videos, I'll have something about the opportunity, or every few videos or something about gummies or coffee. But It Works on TikTok is commercials. So that's the thing that I want you to remember. Don't think of it as it needs to be your main event. I want you to go find something else that you enjoy doing when it comes to that app. Now, on TikTok, I started to do my team's giveaways, because we do giveaways to, well, you guys are doing it with us this month, but we're doing the Disney giveaway and it's huge on TikTok. So basically what I did was, I'm going to type my username in the chat so you guys can just go watch them. My Instagram and my TikTok are the exact same username. Basically what I did was just a quick video about my team's giveaway to Disney. In the video, I tell people, make sure that you share this video and comment Disney to confirm your entry. You want to tell people to share the giveaway video, because when they share it, it's sending it out to all these other people, and TikTok really likes that. So that's a key thing to think about, is always saying, share this video, right? In doing that, I have grown my TikTok followers alone since the beginning of August, over 30,000 followers, just from sharing that giveaway. Is that not crazy? Now from there, I tell people to go and follow me on Instagram. So I start on TikTok and then I tell them to go follow me on Instagram. Once they're on my Instagram, they're able to then see that I am doing the giveaway on there, because I have a giveaway post on there as well. You have to scroll down a little bit once you're on my Instagram, but you'll see it. It's a picture of the castle. It's down a little bit. But what it does, it basically tells people to tag 3 friends and comment Disney, and I will confirm your entry. So when they do that, I then get them to message me, and I get them in my inbox, and I ask them if they want to share another post for me in order to get another entry into my drawing. So if they comment, they get one. If they share another post for me, they get another. Is everyone following? Hopefully I'm not going too fast. And then from that point, once they're in my inbox and they say, okay, here's the crazy thing that is going to probably blow you guys' minds. Chris, I think you already watched my video, but what I'm having them do is share a post that I already have on my Instagram to their Instagram stories. So instead of me giving them a story slide, instead of me like going and having them post something on their own page, I am sending them one of my posts on Instagram and asking them to reshare it on their story. And it's really easy to do that. Let's say I did a gummy one earlier because I wanted to be able to show you guys, but I have a gummy. This is too bright. Hold on. I have a gummy one up here at the very top, and you'll see that I try and make it aesthetically pleasing so it fits into what the rest of my page looks like. I took that picture in my house. It's nothing special, but I just added a filter to it. And on the post, it says volunteers needed, and then one more bottle up for grabs. So I have like a call to action. Like I want people to know that this is urgent. If you want info, you got to get on this now. And in order to share it, you can click the three little dots up at the top, and it gives you the option to copy the link. So right down here, it says copy link. I am then copying that link and saving it into my Word board. So then when Ella says, okay, I'll post for you, I'm able to go on my Word board, send her that link, tell her, here's the link of the post I want you to share. Once you arrive, click the little airplane. You all know what the airplane looks like, right? Right here. Click the airplane to share it to your story. So essentially what she's going to do is click the add to story option, and it's going to show up like this, and it's going to give her the send to, and she's going to click story. So here's how this all works out. Someone's scrolling through Ella's page. They see this picture of these gummies. They're like, what is that? I want to know more about that. They click on it, and it's going to take them right to my post. So they're able to see the picture, read the wording, comment on it because they're interested. She shared the host to post. All of the people are now essentially just coming right to me. So I'm cutting out the middleman. Everybody's coming directly to me. And what I started doing yesterday, maybe 2 days ago, is I did an opportunity reel. So on here, it's my most recent reel, is I did an opportunity reel. I legitimately just saved an older one off of TikTok and put it up on my reels. And I'm now having people share that reel to their story. So with it being an opportunity one, it literally goes through my opportunity wording, and people see that right on somebody's story. And then they're able to come and comment on my opportunity reel wanting more information. So I am just cutting out all of those extra steps. That's essentially what it is.
Hold on, my head. No, because
it's
you know
as simple as someone says, yes, I'm going to post, you sending them the link to said post or link to said reel, saying, share it to your story. Once you do, let me know. All good, you're entered. Perfect. That's it.
It's the simplicity of it that got my head hurting. It's the simplicity.
And the great part is you're getting followers because somebody's like, oh, I really like that reel. I'm going to follow this person. I want to see more. So they might not sign up right away. They might not even comment right away, but they're going to start following you. So they're going to start seeing more of your stuff.
So my thing is like, I've been, changes, you know, a little different, but as long as I get into the consistency of it and doing it daily, it'll go right into the stream of things. I'm used to now creating graphics and having them text me from using the host to post. So I just say, post this picture and boom, done. Now this way is so much easier. And this now gets your reels out there. This now gets an actual video for them not to mess up, because if you send the video, they mess that up. We already know.
Oh yeah.
Now, is the same thing, you can do the same thing technically through Facebook too.
Yes. I've tried doing it on Facebook just a little bit. I'm still dabbling with the ways that I want to have them do it, but it does essentially work. You just still have to write down the names of people if they're posting your post to their page, because I keep having people sharing the post to their page instead of their story. I have an older market and they don't understand every time I say do like certain things to a T. But it does work. It's just me getting them to actually do it the way that I want them to be doing it.
Exactly. So you may have one way, half another,
Mhm.
or just in case.
But it still
Oh,
works out essentially because if someone is sharing my gummy post to their page, people are still able to then click on it and go to my page. But you'll notice that people can also comment on that person's share. So then I have to actually go to their page to click and go. But I mean, it still works, still getting comments. It's just an extra step.
right. But this is building your network, which is
Mhm.
what you need.
Yep.
Oh, all right. I think I'm good for a minute, Rusty. I can't take too much at one time.
And another big thing that you can do too, if you feel like you're not ready to do TikTok, if you feel like you're not ready to do Reels, you can message people and ask them to post for you on Instagram, and then you're still doing the same thing. So if you're sitting there kind of going, I don't have a TikTok to go off of, just start messaging people. You can message your story views, you can message people that are liking your post, however you want to do it. And I feel like with messaging people, asking them to post for you is not as disingenuous as like asking them other things, because you're offering them a free entry to win money. Like you're doing them this great thing. So just think of it as, I'm offering you a chance to win passes to Disney World. All you do is share a post. That's it. So think of it that way. Like you have this great thing that you're able to throw out there for people. So go ahead and offer it.
So that's a good thing. So you guys, when you do your homework tonight, because we do homework every night. So when you do your homework every night and you send out your 30 messages to people, asking them to host a posting tomorrow morning, you reply back to them. You can easily just send them the link of, after you do your reel of your coffee, or your reel of your opportunity, or your last post being something, site, whatever, what's the word, to catch your attention, for us ADD people to actually be excited about it. Just send that link, put that link in the comment, in the inbox, and say, great, share this link to your story. And, well, not share this link to your story. I guess you got to be really precise.
I
Here's the
have
link.
my wording. I have an actual Instagram board that I can send you that I
Sounds
made
good.
for like everybody.
Oh,
And
you
the
know what?
biggest tip that I have for you with that is, once you have a post up that you do want to use for this, try and save it into your word board, because it's going to make it so much easier. If you're doing
Right.
that extra step of every time somebody says yes, I'll post, then you have to go back to the post, then you have to just save the link. And I usually use a post for like 3 or 4 days, and then I'll archive that post. So once this gummy post has been up for a few days, I'll archive it. Don't delete it. If you archive it, you're able to go back and see the likes and the comments if you need to go follow up with people. But then you're able to put a new one up, so you can continue to build that urgency.
Okay. I feel like I had your board. I don't know where I put it though.
I'll text it to you then, so you can have it. I have my messenger one there that you can have as well, but just take that initiative of, you are able to create whatever you want out of this business at any point in this business. So sometimes people will often think, I started and I've been in for a year, I've been in for 2 years, I'm sitting at X rank. It doesn't matter. What matters is where you're going to go from this point forward. And essentially, with the things that just came out, we're all starting over brand new anyway. So why not do it right here and right now? It's just up to you to decide that you're actually going to do it. And the biggest thing that I tell people is, I do not have a hands-on upline. So I have an amazing ambassador, but she doesn't work super close with me. One, she doesn't have to, she just doesn't need to. But I don't have someone saying, Sam, what are you doing today? Sam, what's your goal this month? Sam, let me see your chart. Sam, what do you like? I do not have that. And you don't need that. The only person who's going to tell you what you need to do in this business is in your gut here, is going to say, you know what, you need to wake up and you need to push. You need to wake up if you're going to do this. And that's up to you to decide, and nobody else.
Wow. What she's talking about is desire to change your life from where it is to where you want to go. And there's absolutely nothing that can hold you back except you. And so when you make up your mind, you have the desire, and she has 5 wives, husband, or children, and she's decided that they want to be a full-time family. When you have that burn in your gut, and nothing can stop you. And so right now is the most opportune time I've ever seen in my almost 60 years of existence. My last 20 with Mark, is I've never seen more opportunity, but more people needing people like us to show up to give the hope. So what you really are is a hope broker. When you make up your mind, I'm going to spread the hope. You're not trying to sell nobody nothing. I'm trying to help somebody achieve a goal. I don't want nobody to be sick. If you look on the CDC, website, their number one disease in America is obesity. Obesity is it does heart disease, diabetes, and it's all on there. And I don't hear them talk much about it, but it's in plain sight where you can read. And they even said we wasn't military ready because of obesity. Thank God for technology. And they label that several different times. And so about 80% of everybody in America needs you to show up for hope. And one is when you help people alleviate the stress through you getting out of debt. Guess what? My goal is to take people out of the system. And that means I want to help you get off of medications. How do I know you can do it? I've done it. I was on 29 medications over 15 years ago, and I hadn't had a medication in 15 years now. Nothing except if it works, don't make it, I don't take it. And, help you to get debt free. And it starts a little bit at a time, and as your desire grows and your willingness to help other people to get to live like you physically nor financially, you're the hope broker that they need you to show up. And if people are following you, I've had a girl follow me for 13 years, and finally she pulled the trigger. And I asked her, I said, why? She said, one, I trust you. I've been following you a long time, and you show up every day. That's what it takes. You have to show up every day in the manner she's talking about. And with 4 kids and a husband and a full-time family and all she does, and still she said, I wanted to put my time in this particular time so I could still have a life with my wife and kid, or her husband and kids. And therefore she's making the memories that those children will never get. She's actually training her kids to become entrepreneurs right now because mommy done it. And now they're living this crazy lifestyle in a dream home. They're coaching, they're playing ball. They're doing it as a full-time family. Just you tell me what's better than that. I probably can get him on the phone, and we'll probably purchase that company by tomorrow. But there's nothing better. Now that you have the 4-in-1, we are the strongest weekly fast start company in the world now, and nobody can even touch the back end. They never have been. And when you make up your mind, I have the desire, I'm gonna get the message out to people. And that's what hope brokers do. You get the message out to people. Because I ain't found anybody yet, especially here in North Carolina, nobody's secure in their workplace. There's too much demand and against people's will that's going on right now. Mandates that have no facts to back it up. And I'm not political because I have not participated with those people in a long time. I've lived the life I wanted to live, but it takes that all burning desire in your gut for change. And she just gave you a whole host, an entire outline of how to live your day, track your day, and go out and make something happen. And she just told you every day some day she wakes up to nothing. So stop creating unrealistic expectations about what you think other people need to do. Create realistic expectations about what you're going to do. That's what she just told us. And she tracks it. And I love the fact that you got your hair band around your phone. That is creating a discipline, which is going to become a learned behavior, and you're going to get more out of your day. So I want to ask you this. Do you really want more out of your day? You got to do more to be more. But see, she just gave you a plan of action. It's very smart. And therefore, she's packing her entire day in to about 4 to 5 hours a day, but they're strong, productive, not scrolling, not thinking, not wishing, not hoping, but she's totally in action and engaged in what she's doing. That's what it takes to get into the Millionaires Club. That's what it takes to get into that other club that you're getting ready to find out that has been created in our company. And when you know what, I believe everybody on the Zoom can be in the first one and this other one just by making up your mind, but you'll do it in record time. You'll do it much quicker than all the rest of the people that got there, has been there. You're going to do it, and it's going to be very solid because the momentum's here. Your volumes are going to be up closer because you're focusing on one person at a time, helping them be able to go out and teach a duplicatable system. She just said she keeps it really simple. And when you make up your mind, that's what you're going to do. It is nothing more than a conscious decision to make it happen. So long have we made emotional decisions, and they only last until you get to the stoplight. By making emotional decisions, you can lose all that excitement. That's why motivation, I don't care nothing about it. I want inspiration. When you make up your mind that you're going to be the hope broker and you're going to inspire people to go to that next level, that you're going to show up every day, you become a warrior with that mentality that I'm going to put it all on the line. That's what she said she's done, in my opinion. And she become the warrior, but also she had unconditional love for what she loves most, to go out and make it happen. And so when you make up your mind, this is what I'm going to do. Therefore, there is absolutely no way with her plan of action and also the way she charts everything. It has no room for what? Excuses. That's the one thing that you will do to get off of getting that reject, that no. No's is not a no. It's just I'm not ready right now. It's not for me today, but it could be tomorrow. That's the same little girl that for 13 years that followed us. Now she's in business with us. So it's her time. Keep showing up, fill up your pipeline, and it'll become their time sooner or later, because you got to realize right now it is your time. Carissa, you have anything else?
I would like to just do a quick brag session on yourself, basically, just so they can understand that, you know, you're not on your phone 100 hours a day. You have a family that you're able to still see and spend time with. Um, you're not away from them all day. You have everything managed out on a time schedule where you have time management, which all of these things in place, and you don't have everyone actually replying back the next morning 50 messages saying, yes, yes, I'll put a post up for you, when some days it's two. So just so you guys can actually understand that, it's not unicorn type situations every day, but she still has the numbers that are like blown out of this water of loyal customers and distributors and just everything. So just you know, what's the word? Just brag on yourself about what you've accomplished doing this host to post and things for the last couple months. What it's done. I know TikTok, you said it was like, I know you posted in VIP basically what you've accomplished.
So the biggest thing that I do want to leave you with before I'll give you some numbers, but really just focus on getting the task done. Do not focus on the outcome. Okay. Be so focused on just doing the things and the rest will fall into place. There are days when I get frustrated that I haven't enrolled a distributor in a week. There are days when I get frustrated that I can't sign a customer to save my life. But instead of me sitting in those feelings, I get back to what can I do to make that happen in the next couple of days. Okay. And I do sit there and go, I'm going to sign a DT today. And some days it doesn't happen, but I get focused on doing those things. So just remember that is the key, is the tasks over the outcome. Okay. But as far as numbers, I grew my TikTok over 30,000 in a month and a half. I grew my Instagram. I think I'm at 8,000 in a month and a half, and highest months enrolling customers, 110 from host to post. Highest month for distributors is about 35. And that's just from a combination of doing all the things. But even with mass enrolling, which I love it because I'm super red and I'm super competitive, I am now overly focused on this 4-in-1. So I am focused on bringing in what I need to bring and duplicating those steps. Yes, I can go back and mass enroll if I need to, but I would much rather be bringing in these new distributors and then teaching them how to do the things. And the way that I'm teaching them is by doing these messenger parties, because I'm essentially walking them through these steps. And once they sign a distributor, they already know how to launch them because I did it with them. So just focusing on teaching and teaching and teaching, because there's only so long that you can go in this business before you're going to burn yourself out by enrolling that way. If you're in this business and you are coaching other people, then you are set up for success, because those other people are then going to continue to go out there and they're going to teach everybody else as well.
Wow. I call that the wow factor. You heard it from her, and her reputation supersedes itself on the action she takes every single day because of her wow, which has become her wow, which she's very emotional about it. And if you really want to get to where she is, she just told you how to do it. So, I want to tell you something. There ain't no easy way to success. You can't lose all your weight in 30 days. You can't make $1 million in 30 days. And you can't do nothing. But if you show up consistently every day, it's going to happen. I promise you. It's just, you got to show up every single day and make up a conscious decision. Today's the day I'm going to show up and I'm going to go through these tasks. If I worked for a job and I punched the clock and my boss said that's what I was, you get it done. And when you make up your mind, I'm going to get it done, you start to become an overachiever because you start to believe in yourself and it's what you deserve. The people that work like her, she believes she deserves the very best. She said about her dream home, when you make up your mind that you deserve better, you want more, break all the generational curses that's plagued you in your mind, just change your mind. Change your mind, change your conversation that you have with yourself. I'm gonna just get it done. And anybody says it's an easy way to make this happen in a grander way, they're lying. If you're willing to put the work in, I don't care what industry you're in, you will succeed. You'll exceed at your level sooner or later. just got to keep showing up, showing up, showing up. And the day you don't show up is the day you start to go backwards. You know what? When you have that ball burning desire in that gut, and your why becomes your wow, and you get emotional about where you're going. And I want to ask you, who wants to be the first millionaire in your family? Yeah, I was the first one in my family. And that wasn't the only time it happened. It's happened several times since then. You know why? Because I didn't want to live like I seen some of my family live. I wanted my little girls, they're grown kids now, but they deserve better. But you know what? They saw what it took to do it. And now they're both it works reps, entrepreneurs, and they just don't settle for just average or mediocrity. And when you stop settling for average and mediocrity, you'll put this kind of work in. Samantha, I appreciate your time. It was a pleasure being able to hang out for several days over in the islands with you and your husband. You're an amazing young lady. Thank you for being on our Zoom tonight. And if anything any of us can do for you and your team, you have my phone. It's just we're just phone call away, and we have our marching orders, and we respond like right now. All right. Good night, everyone. Have a great
Thank
evening.
you.